What up, Wastelanders? Thanks again for joining me for another Gaslands NorCal conversion video. Today I'm going to be converting this 95 Nissan hard body truck. I had a truck kind of like this when I was in high school and right out of high school. It was an older model, but it was still a Nissan and everything. So that's kind of the nostalgia that's going on with this one. I do have an idea kind of what I'm going to be doing with this. Truck that I had growing up had a lot bigger tires, and so it had to be jacked up a little bit, so that's what we're going to be doing with this one. Maybe change out the bed, because the bigger tires, that won't make any sense. But yeah, so let's get this one taken apart and in the stripper, and we will move on to the next step. Alright, so we've got it all stripped and everything. Now, as I said, this is kind of a nostalgia piece for me because I had a truck like this growing up. The truck that I had, the color I had, it was silver, so we're going to make it a, I know we're deviating away from the monuments, but we're going to go to the plate mail metal because that's the closest silver I had. I am going to weather it up a bit because it's the Wastelands after all. Big ass tire is going to go on this lift kit. I'm going to get that going on. Obviously get rid of these. Throwing on some big exhaust pipes just to make it a little more oomph. I had KC lights on my truck, so all that's going to be going on, and a brush guard and everything. So let's get this all painted up, and then we'll start getting it together. So we've got everything painted up, and tires are going on, the lift kit's going on, brush guard and lights and everything. I'm going to try out a couple different methods today, using some of the washes, the Agrax Earthshade. Saw some stuff on the internet, thought, hey, this might work. Always interested in trying out new techniques and everything. So they said sprinkle some salt on the pools where your wash goes, and it will pull the pigment of the wash to where the salt is at if you let it dry. So I'm going to try that out. Some good pools going on down at the bottom, and we'll get some salt on there and we'll see if it really happens. You let it dry it out. And it didn't say what kind of salt, whether it was like table salt, special salt, so don't know, but we will find out. I know there's a lot of methods out there like for chipping with salt. I've tried that. I'm not good at it. It didn't work for me, so I just use regular chipping paint. So we're going to try this method out with the wash and see what it does. Okay, well, that's interesting. I guess I did kind of pull the pigment to those areas. Whether it looks a whole lot like corroded metal or not, but, figure I'd give it a shot. Alright, so, moving on. So, gonna use the bed as is. I think I'm just going to cover it up and stick a big old machine gun in the back. That way it'll cover up the little tire that's not going to make any sense going in there. Get our windows in. Now, I cut out most of the undercarriage because I'm not going to need it with the lift kit I'm putting in there. So I had to get some plasticard, some thicker plasticard that I'm going to use for the undercarriage to put in there to cut out the wheel wells and stuff. And then I will put the undercarriage in there, or the lift kit in there to lift it up. So let's get the rest of the plasticard cut out and where we want it, and we'll get that in there. Okay, so I've got the faux bed liner in there, got some of the detail work going on with the lights, got the KC lights getting ready to go on there. Going to be doing the metal mesh on the windows. Didn't have that when I was a kid. probably should have with all the shenanigans I got up to. Yeah, so let's get those on there. On there, weathered up, mesh, a little weathered, so it's not all that shiny. Before I get the tires on, which funny story about the tires, when I got the tires for the truck that I had as a young man, the tires were too big for the wheel wells. I didn't care, I put them on anyway and had to bend out the wheel wells. So there you go for teenage brains. The truck that I got in particular had been sitting in our backyard for some time. I got it from my dad. He had got a bigger truck for work and didn't need the little truck anymore, so he just let it sit there. And it got a lot of grime and slime on it. So I am going to add some slimy green dark and slimy green light from AK Interactive to kind of bring that slime back to life and relive some more of that nostalgia. So let's get some of that on there. Okay, so the slime's all dried. I know what you're thinking. Did it really look like this? Yes, it actually kind of did. It was sitting under a bunch of fir trees for several years, so it did wind up looking a lot like this actually. So now we're going to keep on moving forward. We're going to get the wheels on, and then we'll add a little bit more Gaslands to it, get these big old exhaust pipes going on, which, no, I did not have big exhaust pipes, but those are going to look cool. And then we got a big turreted machine gun we're going to get on the back here to ward off any of those unwanted tailgaters. So let's get the tires on. Okay, here we have it. A nostalgic, slimy Nissan 4x4 pickup, very much like the one that I had when I was a kid. Very much looked like the one I had when I was a kid when I pulled it out of the backyard, got it all washed up, started up right away, you know, with some gas and a new battery. But yeah, just goes to show you, you know, it doesn't always have to be dirty and dusty and rusted to be wastelands. Wastelands can also be slimy and grimy. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see my content coming up, please hit that subscribe. Got some pretty exciting stuff coming up here in the next week, so definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button. Until next time, Gaslands NorCal, signing out.